Imagine a world where titans, like those depicted in the popular anime Attack on Titan, suddenly appeared in our reality. How would humanity fare against these colossal, mindless giants? In this video, we will delve into the hypothetical scenario of titans invading our world, discussing the challenges and strategies that would shape our response. From the initial panic to the eventual victory, we will analyze how our modern technology and military would come into play. In a hypothetical scenario where titans, the terrifying humanoid giants from Attack on Titan, suddenly appeared around the world, the fate of humanity would hang in the balance. We all know that the show features these man-eating giants ranging in size from 4 to 60 meters, and if they were real, we would need to assess our chances of survival and the technologies at our disposal to combat these colossal creatures. One of the primary defenses against titans in the show is the omnidirectional mobility gear, which allows soldiers to swing around quickly and target the vulnerable nape of the titan's neck. While this gear is exciting, we would likely need to employ alternative means to combat titans in reality. Technologies such as helicopters, drones, or wingsuits could potentially be used to attack from the air, where titans are less capable of defending themselves. But the titans are incredibly strong and fast, and some can even regenerate when wounded. However, their one weakness lies in the nape of their necks, making it essential to reach that vulnerable spot to defeat them. Nuking titans might seem like a simple solution, but the collateral damage, including toxic radioactive fallout and the years required for rebuilding, would likely make it an undesirable choice. Instead, a more precise approach involving sniper rifles could be considered. However, this method would prove challenging against the faster titans. In a real-world scenario, evacuation would be a primary strategy for survival. Titans are known for their ability to smash through buildings with ease, which makes fortified underground bunkers a safer option. For those who can afford it, subterranean bunkers, which are designed to hold up to 75 people for 5 years, could provide a last line of defense. If all else fails, a call for an aerial attack from the military using drones or fighter jets might be the best option. The appearance of colossal titans, much larger and more destructive than their smaller counterparts, poses a significant threat. These titans release explosive energy and scorching heat when they form, causing destruction within their blast radius. These titans, also known as titan shifters, are humans transformed into giant, steam-spewing creatures. The only way to defeat them is by extracting the human host from their necks, a challenging and dangerous task. Some unconventional methods could be considered in a desperate attempt to combat titans. Blocking the sun temporarily might be a solution, as titans derive their energy from sunlight. This tactic would not only weaken them, but could also have a positive effect on slowing down global warming. Once the titans are tired and disoriented, they could possibly be restrained with ropes, enabling more effective attacks. Now, imagine you are living in a world where titans have suddenly appeared, and you must rely on your wits and resources to survive. As they approach your town, you have to evacuate to an underground settlement for safety. As you reach the evacuation center, you can see the titans in the distance, their massive, human-like faces showing a grotesque hunger. They are all as tall as skyscrapers and emit an eerie presence as they advance. The leader, the largest among them, lets out a deafening roar that shakes the ground. You cower in fear, scrubbing yourself with oil and detergent to mask your scent, knowing that the titans have an acute sense of smell. The ground trembles as the titans approach, and you can see that they are now just miles away. The evacuation center's jeeps are ready to take people to safety, but you lag behind and watch in horror as they depart without you. Desperation sets in as you realize that the town is now deserted and the giants are drawing nearer. Suddenly, the titans stop, giving you a momentary reprieve. But as you start to make a move, one of the giants rips the house open, exposing you to their piercing gaze. They lock onto you, like predators eyeing their prey. You freeze. With a sudden burst of adrenaline, you make a break for it. It's now nighttime, and you set up camp in a hidden cave, keeping a watchful eye on the distant titans. Miles away from the giants, you find solace in the cave, still hidden from their view. The titans appear to be like zombies, some even sleeping while standing. In your path, you discover a tunnel through the mountains leading to another city. The giants follow you, wreaking havoc and destruction as they advance. Their glaring eyes illuminate in the darkness, and you drive through the tunnel, maneuvering past overturned vehicles and gathering supplies. The giants attempt to squeeze through the tunnel, but are obstructed by their sheer size. As the sun rises, you continue your journey, feeling like the last human in the land. You stop at abandoned gas stations to refuel and sleep in roadside motels. It has been 2 weeks since you last saw a titan, but you remain vigilant, preferring to stay low-key. While driving across the country, you come across a scene that appears serene, peaceful giants wandering around. Momentarily captivated, you stop to observe, not realizing the impending danger. Suddenly, the Titans that had pursued you earlier reappear out of nowhere. You speed away, but they are relentless, galloping like gazelles on all fours and closing in on you. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the deserted city streets, you found yourself trapped in a nightmare. Colossal Titans, towering over the crumbling skyscrapers, had descended upon the city like an apocalyptic horde. Panic and chaos had consumed the once thriving metropolis. The world had become an unrecognizable, terrifying landscape. You crouched behind a shattered car, your heart pounding in your chest as a trio of Titans loomed in the distance. Their grotesque, disfigured forms and bloodshot eyes sent shivers down your spine. You knew you couldn't outrun them or hide for long, and the hopelessness of your situation weighed heavily on you. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed through the desolation. Your heart leaped as you watched a squad of helicopters descend from the sky, their rotor blades slicing through the thick, tension-filled air. These were no ordinary helicopters. They were sleek, black, and bristling with high-tech weaponry. From the choppers, a team of elite Special Forces soldiers dressed in advanced combat gear rappelled to the ground with swift precision. Their faces were concealed behind tinted visors, and their movements were precise and calculated. As they touched down, they deployed rapidly and formed a protective perimeter around you. "Stay low and follow us," the team leader barked through your earpiece. His voice was reassuring and filled with authority, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. You fell into step behind them, your senses heightened as you watched the Special Forces team take on the Titans with remarkable efficiency. They used advanced rifles equipped with high-velocity, armor-piercing rounds to target the napes of Titans' necks, the one vulnerability you had discovered. With each shot, the colossal beasts crumbled to the ground, their thunderous falls sending shockwaves through the shattered city. The team leader guided you through the perilous streets, never allowing you to stray too far from cover. You moved like a shadow, blending seamlessly with the urban terrain. His tactical display on his wrist-mounted device showed the locations of the remaining Titans in real time, allowing you to strategize and eliminate them systematically. As you approached a particularly menacing Titan, its gaping maw ready to devour anything in its path, the leader signaled the team to halt. With a calculated precision, he called in an airstrike. A jet screamed overhead, dropping a guided bomb that struck the Titan's neck with pinpoint accuracy. The colossal creature disintegrated into a cloud of dust and ash. However, more Titans loomed in the distance, casting a long shadow across the war-torn city. You are now in safe hands, but it's time for the final battle. Titans versus humans. Now the situation is so dangerous that wars and conflicts would be momentarily set aside as governments and rulers rushed to address the imminent threat. Local police and medical services would respond to immediate emergencies, but armed forces would ultimately be deployed to combat the Titans. In the UK, armed police could be authorized with a shoot-to-kill order to protect civilians. However, this directive wouldn't be sufficient to take down the Titans, as they can only be killed by targeting the nape of their necks, a detail that might not be known immediately. In the United States, governors could call the National Guard into action to repel the Titans, considering their invasive nature. While their methods might differ, both countries would rely heavily on military resources to confront this unprecedented threat. The introduction of the Colossal Titan, which can only be killed by extracting the person controlling it from the nape of its neck, would present a unique challenge. The use of long-range weapons like .50 Browning machine guns might provide a way to keep a safe distance while targeting the Titan's neck. For the extraction, a halo, high-altitude low-opening jump could be considered. While risky, it would be the only option to approach the Colossal Titan. Soldiers would need to cut a 1-meter slice, 10 centimeters wide on its neck, which would require considerable effort, potentially involving machetes. Additionally, protective gear capable of withstanding the Titan's scalding steam, which reaches temperatures as high as 602 Celsius, would be necessary. The humanitarian aspect of responding to a Titan attack would be challenging. Medical personnel would face difficult choices when deciding whether to prioritize saving lives in the midst of Titans or protecting themselves. Evacuating the injured and displaced civilians would require extensive coordination between emergency services, the military, and humanitarian organizations. The United Nations Disaster Assessment and Coordination Teams could play a crucial role in coordinating relief efforts. Organizations like Doctors Without Borders would focus on providing medical care to casualties and preventing the spread of diseases among refugees. Establishing makeshift shelters and ensuring access to clean water would be vital. In a hypothetical scenario where Titans invade our world, humanity's response would be multifaceted. While the initial panic would be widespread, governments and military forces would eventually coordinate to confront the Titans. Modern technology and military military might would give humans an advantage, enabling us to target the Titans' vulnerable necks. In the end, humanity's survival would depend on a combination of military tactics, humanitarian efforts, and effective communication among nations. The Titans may be colossal, but they would ultimately face defeat in the face of a united and well-equipped human race.